I never thought a quiet evening at home would be the beginning of the most painful discovery of my life. My wife had been busy that day, rushing around, distracted with calls and errands. She barely looked me in the eye, but I didn't think much of it. Sometimes people get wrapped up in their own worlds. I told myself not, so I decided to spend time with my little boy, Daniel. He was 7, full of energy, full of curiosity, and the kind of joy that could make even the worst day brighter. That evening, he came running to me with the biggest grin on his face. "Daddy, can you play the piano for me?" he asked. The piano had always been special in our home. I used to play it for my wife when we were dating, and later I played for Daniel when he was a baby, rocking him to sleep with gentle melodies. I smiled, nodding, and sat down at the keys. Daniel climbed up on the bench beside me, his little legs swinging. "What do you want to hear, buddy?" I asked. He thought for a moment and then said something that froze me. "Play Mommy's song." I looked at him, confused. "Mommy's song? Which one?" Daniel tilted his head. "You know, the one Mommy plays when you're not home." "She says it's her favorite. She told me not to tell you, but I like it." My fingers hovered above the keys, suddenly heavy, stiff. My wife played the piano sometimes, but there wasn't a specific song she had ever called her favorite to me. "Can you hum it for me?" I asked gently. Daniel nodded and started humming. The tune was simple, but I recognized it instantly. My heart dropped into my stomach. It was the same melody I had written years ago, back when I was in college, for a girl I once loved deeply. But that girl wasn't my wife. I hadn't played that melody in years. I never shared it with my wife. I never even told her it existed. And yet, here was my son, humming it as if it was a regular part of his evenings. My hands trembled on the keys as I began to play along with Daniel's humming. The notes filled the room, wrapping around us, but my mind was racing. How did my wife know this melody? And why would she play it when I wasn't home? Did Mommy tell you where she learned this song? I asked carefully. Daniel shrugged. "She just says it's from a special friend. Sometimes she plays it when she's on the phone. She always smiles when she hears it." A chill ran down my spine. A special friend. My wife had been distant for months, answering calls in hushed tones, stepping outside for long conversations, smiling at her phone like it held the world. I told myself it was work stress or maybe just family matters. But now, with Daniel's innocent words, the truth was breaking through the cracks. That night, I couldn't sleep. The melody replayed in my head over and over, each note cutting into me like a blade. I knew exactly who had taught her that song. It was my old college friend, Michael, the same man I had trusted, the same man who once knew every detail of my life. He was the only other person who knew that melody. The next day, while my wife was in the shower, I checked her phone. I hated myself for it, but I couldn't stop. My hands shook as I scrolled through her messages, and there it was. Michael's name, dozens of texts, some innocent, some not. And in one of them, she wrote, "Play our song for me tonight. It always reminds me of us." I dropped the phone. My chest burned. My wife hadn't just been unfaithful, she had used the most private, intimate piece of my past, a song that was never hers, as a way to connect with another man. I confronted her that evening. At first, she denied it, laughing it off as if I was imagining things. But when I told her about Daniel humming the tune, the color drained from her face. She knew she was caught. I didn't mean for it to happen," she whispered. Her excuses poured out, words that felt like poison. She said she was lonely, that I had been distant, that it just happened. But none of it mattered. What mattered was the betrayal, the deception, and the fact that she had dragged our son into it, even unknowingly. That night, I sat at the piano alone. I played the melody one last time, but it no longer sounded sweet. It was broken, twisted, filled with pain. I looked at Daniel, asleep on the couch, and I knew one thing for certain. I had to protect him from the mess his mother had created. I couldn't erase the betrayal, but I could shield him from it. And as the final notes faded into silence, I realized that the song, the one that once symbolized love, would forever remind me of the moment my marriage shattered.